Go for it.
Oh, yeah. Couple of pre-rolls this week, starting with Roman at Roman. There are no waiting rooms and no hassle, Anthony. It's a straightforward digital experience from the comfort of your home. To learn more about how you can achieve your personal sexual health goals, go to ro.co/JRVP today to get 20% off your first order. That's ro.co/JRVP. If you're 21 or over, Black Buffalo is everything you love, nothing you don't. The feel, the taste, the ritual, just without the actual tobacco leaf or stem. Different leaf, same ritual. It's time to join the Black Buffalo herd. Head to blackbuffalo.com. Use the promo code JRVP at checkout for 20% off your first order. One last time, promo code JRVP for 20% off your first order. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. You know what else is addictive? This podcast. We got ChatGPT, the most annoying neighbor ever, and what you don't want to find when you're looking for those Christmas decorations. All coming up in episode 196 of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project. JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
I only talk about peace.
Oh, shit.
And that's a single up the middle. Aaron giving up a hit right off the bat. And I know your quote for once, you know, because I watched the Oscars.
You did? You watched them?
I did.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it because it was a rare Oscars I really cared about, because I really liked Tar and Everything Everywhere All at Once and Women Talking, and so I just kind of wanted to see the people.
I missed the monologue. I saw a couple clips. And I love Jimmy Kimmel. Missed the monologue. I thought he did a good job. He moved it along. I feel bad now for, I think the one award that I was like, that's wrong. Jamie Lee Curtis
that didn't
should not have been nominated.
No.
That award belonged to Jenny Slate, who also was not nominated. She's only in the movie for a few minutes. But she should have gotten it. I would have loved to see Angela Bassett get up there and get it. I felt bad for her. And again, Everything Everywhere All at Once was my favorite movie of the year. All right, I think it's the best. I was glad for it to get a lot of acknowledgement, get a lot of press. But by winning everything, now it's going to get shit on. Now people are turning on it.
Barely, though, not really.
No, the movie that wins everything is not going to. It's going to get shit on. If it came in the second place, if it lost all the awards, it would go down as one of the greatest movies of all time. People would still talk about it. But I think it's too much. They won too much.
I think they felt they won too much. The director said as much the day before the Oscars. Like, he was saying, I almost said he was hoping they don't win the next day. Like, we've won enough. I'd love to share it because all these other movies are so incredible. I disagree. I think that's going to go down. Maybe not a classic. There's a lot of people that are like, it shouldn't have won Best Picture or whatever. But I don't think people are shitty on it. Everyone liked it. People were shitty on Jamie Lee Curtis winning. Stephanie Hsu would have been a better choice there.
Absolutely. But again,
I'm not shitting on anyone.
It was Jenny Slate's year.
Tar. I did feel bad that Tar got no love, because that is an incredible movie. To me, it reminded me a lot of Phantom Thread, which also didn't win shit. But I feel like Phantom Thread's already aging well. People still talking Phantom Thread, and by people I mean me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't shut up about it. But I thought it was fine. I didn't love it as much as last year was the fun one, but this year was just whatever.
Plus, I feel like I'm the only person I know that saw Women Talking, gave it some pop here on the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project. JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
And it did a great job winning adapted screenplay off of a great book.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Polley made a great speech.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I got to see The Fabelmans. I got to see, I don't know, a whole bunch. Every time I go to watch one of these new movies, like one of the Oscar movies, I just want to rewatch Tar. I just want to rewatch Tar. Very infinitely rewatchable, great movie.
Now on Peacock, so I have started just like rewatch. I'll just like watch 20 minutes here and there now that it's just like sitting there.
I want to see Babylon. I heard people say it's bad, but I want to watch that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like 1920s Hollywood. Looks crazy. I want to see
Jimmy
it.
Kimmel shat on Babylon a little bit.
Everybody did. Nobody wanted to see it, but it's on. I think it's on Peacock now. It's on one of those Hulu maybe. You can watch for free. That I will check it out once I can convince Liz. I could not convince Liz. Other than that, Last of Us. I know Greg hasn't seen it. Greg gave us the warning today that he might want to watch it eventually, so no one talk about it. We're not going to do that. Okay. Aaron watched it this afternoon in preparation for seeing me.
Yep.
Aaron, did you play the game?
No, I didn't.
So you didn't know anything was going to happen this season?
No.
Me neither. I had no idea. I avoided spoilers. I loved it. I love that, like a twist like that at the end. It's just like hardcore fuck everybody. Emotionally complicated, if you will.
Yeah.
I was a big fan. Excited for season 2 and whatever they do. I've heard some like light spoilers about season 2 just because it follows the game again. But I haven't paid enough attention to really understand it. But I loved the season. You were a fan?
Oh yeah, and the finale just rocked me. Just shook me to the core.
To the core?
Yeah,
That's
really.
deep. That's the middle of you.
Straight in the middle where
Wow.
the rings are. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like an apple, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. You okay?
I think I'll be okay. It's still pretty fresh. It was a couple hours ago.
I don't know if I'm okay. I'll tell you that. I came in here a little hot today. It's been you know, you get up too early. You haven't been sleeping that much. You got to get up early to run some errands. I had to do that today. I had to get up. I had these guys come in to fix the door into my place.
I mean,
And-
I feel like your house is always being fixed, or something's always going on.
There's been
in your
construction
apartment
for a
building.
year, but
Yeah.
this was like me doing stuff inside. The doors.
How about they get their shit together?
I shaved the door, and I shaved the door down when I moved in because they wanted to put this rug down. And I was like, wait, now my place isn't soundproof. And Rummy sees people walking in the hallway through that little thing, and he barks. So I'm like, let's get that fixed. And the assistant comes in, Miss Kim is taking care of it. The guys come like weeks ago. They're like, oh, we got to shave the door down. We're going to have to come back at some other point. Today's the day. So I get up really early. I have to go to my chiropractor. I take Liz with me. We're hanging out. It's pouring rain. I go and we go to get breakfast afterwards. And the place is packed. It's like 20 people deep waiting. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm so hungry. We got to go home and eat something at home. And I pull out, and I got road rage for the first time in my life today. I am zen behind the wheel. I don't even honk my horn. Liz will yell at me all the time, like, honk your horn at that guy. And I'm like, no, it's over now. I'm already past him. It doesn't matter. But I get, it's a right turn only lane. It's like one of those like small side streets turning onto Franklin. It's right turn only. Pouring rain. I'm so hungry. And there's somebody in front of me in like a Jeep trying to make a left. And if you were taking a right, you could have gone for 20 minutes. I could have taken this right. And this guy's just got his left blinker on. And so I hit the horn. I'm like, maybe he doesn't know. Maybe they don't know there's a sign that says right turn only for a reason, because it's too hard to take a left here. I hit my horn a couple times, and I'm thinking maybe he'll wave out the window. Do a wave like, sorry. That's all I need. And I'm cool. You apologize to me in the car? Like, we're good. He doesn't do that. He sticks his head out and gives me a look like, what the fuck? I'm going left. That's what he says. I can hear him. And I lose it.
Wow.
Window down, screaming, no left turn. Liz is like, what are you doing? I'm like, no left turn. And the guy turns and goes, I'm going left. I point at the sign, no left turn. And he goes, yeah? Well, I'm going left. And then I was like, you
Strong
win.
move.
You win. Road rage is dumb. I felt stupid immediately, put my window up. He took a left almost immediately after that. I took my right and got home. And I was like, wow, road rage for the first time ever. And then I was still angry. I'm get home, I'm mad. And Liz was like, here, eat this. And then I was fine. I'm at peace now. But then so I eat.
Food solves most things.
Yes, hangry. is what they call it.
Everything. I mean, just like in life. I mean, that is the answer to a lot of questions.
Cancer.
Food.
Cancer.
Food's gonna help.
Does food help cancer?
Yeah. I mean, you'll be happier while you have your cancer if you eat.
It's true, as opposed to just starving. Doing cancer raw.
I just mean like it'll make the time you have left on this earth better if you eat well.
I get to my place, and I'm like, oh, at least the door is fixed. They, instead of putting the rubber thing on the bottom of the door like they're supposed to, they put like a little metal flap that when you open the door, it scrapes on the wood floor. And there's no soundproofing. You can't see because it's metal there. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be another month of this. Was not happy, but then I ate and I was good. We're getting the door fixed. Miss Kim is on the case. We're going to handle this eventually.
I hope you didn't let any of this road rage, spill over to Miss Kim.
No.
Blame
not at all.
her.
Not at all. I'm Miss Kim. I'm the ultimate boss. I'm a great boss. I'm a very chill. She's got to go handle this now, but there was no anger towards her.
Aaron, would you agree that Anthony is the ultimate boss?
I mean, I've got no proof otherwise.
Have I ever yelled at you?
I mean, on this podcast.
Last week? No.
No, never. Not on. If I did on the air, it was for comedic purposes, and I would never yell you off the air. I would never, no reason to. I'm pretty zen. But speaking of Pretty Zen, I want to thank some. I got some gifts today when I walked in here.
Well, you were upset about like the whole us trying to schedule the show thing.
Yeah.
You were,
That was
that's
more.
what
That was a
we're
frustration
referring
with the
to.
process, and not because you guys were like little kids trying to figure out something for the first time ever, and I couldn't handle.
No,
it,
we
I
were
believe.
just adults talking. That's the easiest way to go through figuring out schedule. You have to talk through what the other person's.
No, the
schedule is
easiest
and
way is
figure-
to email it, write it down, and then
Right,
figure out
but
what.
to get there, you have to talk it through. You didn't like being there witnessing it.
I was calm for the first like 3 times. You had to go circle back and redo it. It would be like, oh, how about next week I got to do 4? Like, okay, great. All right, 4. I write it down. Actually, no, wait, that's not going to work. It's got to be 6.
Well, it's
wait, I can't do
confusing
6.
when you're maxing up 3 people's schedule, but I do appreciate we're here late night
Yep.
in Burbank. Aaron, I feel bad for taking him out of his house with his young child, his wife, to come here late at night and do a show. That's how much we love our listeners.
It's true. Because even though Greg got free agency right now, the hardest time of the year for him, he's here doing this for
A lot
us.
of shows. I'm on NFL Network tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. if you want to wake up early.
That's great.
Check me out.
Don't interrupt me again while I'm talking about the gifts I received. Okay, like I'm baby Jesus. From Hutch, I got a leather cowboy boot keychain, and this is expensive. This is a nice gift. On the bottom it says Hecho and Mexico. Aaron, do you know what that means? Hecho and Mexico?
It's made in
It means it's
Mexico.
expensive.
Oh, okay.
All right, it means it's top of the line. It's hollow. I don't know if you're supposed to put a lighter in there. I'm not going to do that, but I will use this. And then someone, an anonymous
Who's Hutch?
Hutch, I don't know. It says on the card. And there's a thing I can do like scan the code and then send a thank you note. I'm not going to do that. I'm doing this live on the air. And then someone sent me 3 magnets: Crosby, Letang, Malkin. Thank you,
Ooh.
anonymous donor. I appreciate it. The big 3. All right, they all got it. They're all legends. They're all going to the Hall of Fame.
You're wearing your merch right now, but you can no longer buy that merch?
You can no longer buy it.
I'm clicking on the official store, and I'm noticing got some tour dates up there. I don't know if I'm spoiling anything here.
No, actually, that's a good that you mentioned that. I announced some casinos this week, but I don't really promote those like the social media team does. But I'm not like, I'm doing the Borgata in July. I'm doing somewhere else in West Virginia the next night. Just casino shows. If you're there and you want to come, great. But on April 3rd, I have locked in the tour dates for the fall for September through December. I've got the dates. Again, there's going to be a bunch more dates in the spring. I'm going to tape a special, I believe, early next year, probably around May. Then I'm going to go to Europe. Then I'm going to go to Australia. And then the special's going to come out. And then I can rest and focus 110% on the podcast. I promise you guys. More than anything, I will focus on this. April 3rd, I'm going to announce the tour dates. I don't know what day is April 3rd. Is that podcast time? It's the Monday. So on Tuesday, I will tell you all about it. But April 3rd, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I will be announcing all those things. Pre-sale code for everybody. I think you're going to like the name of the tour that I've decided on. I think you're going to like the code you put in for pre-sale tickets. That's a little hint for everybody. And I'm going everywhere. Name a city.
Spokane.
Nope, I already went there.
I think that's
It's
because I
Spokane.
just saw it in my on your
Aaron, name a
website.
city.
Chicago.
Raleigh.
I already went to Raleigh. You guys are naming the places I've already been.
Rye.
What's Rye? That's not
Nyack? Where were you just at? Yeah, I was just trying to...
Rye. You thought you confused West Nyack with Rye?
I mean, they're all the same.
Rye's in a completely different state.
Is it?
It's not a name of a city, I don't think.
It's a town. How about Chicago? I threw Chicago out
Yes.
there. Okay. Denver.
Yes.
Portland?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I had to
Boston?
Yes. I had to think about the cities I haven't been to. I'm not going to on this fall tour to think about where I'm going to shoot the special in the spring. I'm very
New
excited
York
about it.
City.
Yeah, I'm doing Carnegie Hall in November. One show at Carnegie Hall, and then I'm going to come back in the spring because I'm just doing one show at Carnegie, and then I'm going to come back and do.
Wait,
like the
really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Carnegie Hall in
Have you ever
November.
done that?
No, never even seen it. My parents are going to come. I'm like, you got to come and see Carnegie Hall.
That's
I was
amazing.
I was supposed to go to Pittsburgh over Thanksgiving weekend, and that got moved. So my
Wait, I
parents.
thought you
were
weren't
bummed about that.
allowed to announce the dates and whatnot.
I'm not. I can name I can tease a couple cities.
What about just the people who are going to camp out outside at Carnegie Hall now?
I think they'd be there anyway.
I went to one show. I think I've only been to one show ever in Carnegie Hall, but it was goddamn amazing.
What'd you say?
It was his band of horses, and his voice in that place was just was next level.
Oh, wait until I sing. Wait until I light it up in there. I'm excited. And again, like I was talking to someone about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like a friend of ours got choked up doing it. Like was so excited, it was such a big deal to him." And I was like, "Oh, I don't feel that way at all. It's like it's cool, but I'm gonna go do my show to the best of my ability." I'm excited for that though, but I'm very excited to announce the tour dates. Very excited for the tour. Got some casinos this summer, some festivals, and then a lot of fall dates. And I'm in the middle of my time off right now. I'm just enjoying not being on the road for another.
I mean, you
2
sound
weeks.
stressed if you're hitting road rage early in the morning.
Yeah, this is around 1:30. I hit the road rage, but again, I hadn't eaten all day. I was tired. Again, I'm an all-time great boss. Liz will tell you.
This it's the city of road rage though. It's amazing how much road rage you see or I see on a regular basis. Other cars like just getting mad at the other one, trailing, a lot of yelling. Santa Monica. It's everywhere. And I just wave when people get mad at me. I just wave to confuse them.
All I wanted was a wave. I would have forgiven him immediately because I was like, maybe he doesn't know you can't take a left here, and I'll honk and I'm like, oh, I'll take a right and then circle back around. But the look on his face made me angry.
I wave and smile as if like they're like trying to say hi to me when they're mad at me if I made a mistake, just to like confuse them.
I put my hands up and I go, sorry. I mouth sorry, and then just go. What is your week like? Free agency. I would think the busiest time of year for you would be week 1. I would think maybe Super Bowl weekend. I would think maybe beginning of playoffs. But no, for you, it is not the draft. It's not Black Friday when the coaches get fired. It's free agency begins. And then it sounds like your world is in turmoil. It's everything everywhere all at once for you. Why is that?
For 4 or 5 days, because the entire offseason all happens in like 4 or 5 days. So it kind of started a little bit last week. There were some big moves, Daniel Jones and Geno and Derek Carr and whatever. But yeah, Monday they kind of flipped the switch, and then every player that's available and every trade and that's going to happens between Monday and Thursday. It's already slowed down, but they put you on, I do some NFL Network shows, you do some digital shows, I do the podcast, I do some writing. So it's just, it's a lot in a row, but it's fun. I like being the free agency guy. Plus I'm the guy, when you watch it on NFL Network, it says the top 101 free agents by Greg Rosenthal across the bottom the whole month. So I'm
101?
I'm like the free agency guy. So this is my time. Like, some people are into the draft. I'm free agency.
You rank 101 players.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Bro, they're not Dalmatians. Get it together. What else did you do this week?
We went to Indian Wells on Saturday. It's like my favorite sporting event, my favorite day of the year.
Why is it your favorite? Because it's close, you can drive there, or because
I just love live tennis, and this year especially, it was nice to be somewhere hot. But yeah, you sit up close. A lot of like the best players in the world. They're everywhere. 8 or 9 courts. I bring Walker with me. This time we had to bring Ellis and Emeka came. Ellis didn't want to go, so Ellis was a little bit of a drag on the party because she didn't really want to be there. She was just like reading books in the crowd and ended up not watching a lot of the day. Emeka just kind of like hung out with her and ate stuff, but we had a great time.
Does Walker like tennis or NASCAR more?
Probably NASCAR.
But it's close?
But he loved it, yes.
Okay.
It's close. Like when it was hot and I was like, we can go take a break if you want. He's like, no, I want to see the third set here. And we were like, oh, we can go now. Else, it's like we've been here a lot long. He's like, no, I want to see who wins this match. He was into it. So my recommendation for women's tennis is really coming through. I realized that is my thing because I watched, I think, 5 matches during the day at various times. I actually dropped them. I got dinner with them and then dropped them at the hotel, and I went back. And I realized I didn't see a man play tennis all day. I just watched. I watched all women.
Do you think any wife is more secure than Emeka is, that you would never cheat on her? Your interests just don't align sexually?
What is that supposed to mean?
It means you are like, if I'm on TikTok, all right, I have my TikTok account. If Liz glances over, it's never like, I'm never looking at like bikini models. It's always like dogs doing something silly or getting euthanized. That she's like, I'm comfortable. I know you're not going to cheat on me because you don't care about that stuff. But you are like, it's even more wholesome for you. It's like women's tennis.
Well, it doesn't hurt that women's tennis players are attractive. I mean, that's not a downside. But I don't think she's worried about me and Paula Badosa getting after it or anything.
No one's worried about you and Paula Badosa. Don't be silly. It's too silly even for this podcast.
I did have some heartbreaking news, though. I don't know if you probably didn't notice this, but as you and Aaron were talking right before the show, my heart sank and my face sank because the last minute dream house that we thought we finally found and rented in Hawaii, updating the story that we have not actually rented any place for our vacation that starts in 2 weeks. And we rented one this morning. I read, as you guys were talking 10 minutes ago, that all the money has been refunded and it was a mistake. It wasn't actually available and they've canceled it. And now we're back to square one. I'm very sad.
When's that trip again?
2.5 weeks.
Bro, get a hotel. I
know, but the hotels, I mean, we may. I mean, I've been looking at hotels. There's not a lot available right now. That's why we were so excited. That seemed great. Not a lot available.
So while we're talking about what we did this week, you're checking emails?
I said before the show started. While you guys were talking about Last of Us before the show started, right before it started, like 5 minutes before. So I'm recovering emotionally, but I'm doing fine.
And you held it in to spring it on me on the air?
Why not?
It's embarrassing.
Popped up.
It's embarrassing. Again, we are doing a late podcast tonight. Late night Tuesday. We usually do it much earlier. It'd be hours ago, but Greg's got free agency and fucking up his family's vacation. And now it's time for Did We Get Any Notes?
Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes?
I'll tell you what we got is plenty of submissions to the JRVP episode 200 Erotic Fan Fiction Contest. Miss Kim has told me there are a plethora of, it's like, I think she said 25 pages of stuff. It's in a Google Doc. I will not look at it until the week before. I don't want to like see the early stuff and then.
Was she going to whittle it down?
No, I'm going to read it all. And I mean, we'll see. I might like hit a brick wall when I'm reading these things, but I think I'm not going to make her go through all that stuff. She might be perusing because she's got to like take it separate it from the emails to send off to me. But she said there's a lot, and so
well,
keep it
and
coming.
she's like a human being. When you got something that hot right in front of you, you can't ignore it.
It's true. It's very true. That's why we do this podcast together, buddy. I will reiterate the rules. And listen, I've seen some submissions online, people put online, don't do that. I see people be like, oh, the title of mine is going to be, don't do that. You're giving it away. Save it. Save it for us. It'll be worth the wait. The longer you wait when it comes to erotic fan fiction, the better. I'll reiterate the rules. Contest to win the robe, maybe some other things. 250 words or less. Erotic fan fiction must include Anthony, Greg, Aaron, who cannot be seen, only heard in the story. Seaweed's corpse and Rummy. Must not include Emeka, Liz, Walker, Ellis, Erica, or Miss Kim. And that was.
Wait, I have a little question.
Shoot.
So I sort of brought up the contest at home, but I didn't mention.
Why would you do that? She doesn't listen to the podcast. Why would you bring it up at home weeks before?
Well, not to Emeka. I actually was talking
to
about.
your children?
Yeah. But I took out the erotic part. I don't know how it came up, but somehow it came up. Something about maybe there was a writing contest at school, and I was like, oh, we're having a writing contest for the podcast. Somehow it came up. And so I didn't mention the erotic part, but I'd said we were having a contest that people were trying to win for our 200th episode, and Ellis was asking if she could enter the contest. Now, she would have to play by different rules. I don't think she... knows even what erotic means at this point. I don't want to.
It doesn't have to be erotic. It can be clean. I would say I would give her the exact same rules, but I would leave out erotic.
Yeah.
Like if she includes Emeka, she's gone. I'm bouncing her. If she includes herself or Walker, gone.
Yeah.
Miss Kim, gone. Erica, gone. But it can be, and if Aaron's body, if it's not just Aaron's voice in the story, gone. But I would love to see a submission from her. 250 words or less.
I said I would bring it up to you and see what.
I love it. I love it. I mean,
she's an aspiring writer. That's what she says she wants to be.
I will read it. I will read it on the air. It'll be good to have like the filth and then like a little palate cleanser. But I don't think she can win the robe.
Agreed.
She could win something else. But I think all our listeners would like to hear Emeka's submission. I would love to hear Walker's. Ellis's. Sorry.
I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't follow through. But we'll see.
Oh, you're going to make her.
Kids are fickle.
You're going to make her. I would love it. I would love that. And Walker, too. Emeka, throw it in there. Debbie, I want to see an email from Debbie. Oh, I want to see an email from Debbie. And you know what? Debbie can do a video if she wants, if you know what I mean. And that was, did we get any notes?
Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes?
You know, when I was coming in here, when I was like getting ready for the podcast hours ago, I was like, maybe I'm too annoyed today to dance. And then I get in here, I hear that music. I got to do something. It's more of a wiggle this week. And again, you got to go on the YouTube. You got to subscribe and you got to watch it and comment. I think that maybe helps. Do those things to see me wiggle. And now it's time for a little place we like to take it down to whenever we need to know if email's a thing. It's Email Corner.
And now it's time for a little thing we like to call the corner, the email question. We'll take more if you got it. Email question. We'll take more email questions. Email, the corner, the email corner.
That's a new song. What's our boy's name, Aaron?
I'm Rye.
I'm Rye. Aaron just says I'm Rye as if it's like that's the real name. It's an amalgamam. Amalgamam? Amalgamam. Exactly. It's one of those. Yeah. Thank you for sending that in. We've got a couple extra ones.
Anagram?
We like it. Anagram. An anagram. Thank you. And an anagram.
An amalgamation?
A bananagram. Email, guys, even though we have a new song, emails remain a thing. And we like to let people write into us, throw something at Miss Kim. Miss Kim sends them to me. I pick 3 of them. We talk about them. Greg, read them to me.
Harvey asks Anthony, he's a big fan of the pod. The repertoire is hilarious. This question is intended for Anthony. All due respect to Greggy. I mean, just using the name Greggy, not a lot of respect there. But
is that okay?
There's a lot of talk about AI programs. ChatGPT seems to be what's talked about the most right now. After looking into it, I can see why it's taken the internet by storm, in case y'all didn't know. Basically, you can generate accurate blah, blah, blah. With AI, people have been able to generate incredible yet unsettling dialogues that mirror the rhetoric and speech of famous people. This has reached the realm of comedy. I've seen audio streams of AI that talk just like Jerry Seinfeld, with both jokes and voices purely generated. I've even seen posts with people having AI take a jab at imitating you, and it has me thinking about the future of art and creativity. As a comedian, what are your thoughts on the possibility of AI utilizing the internet as a platform for delivering plagiarized or even personalized comedy to audiences, potentially surpassing the capabilities of human comedians in terms of personalization? And what impact do you think this could have in the future of stand-up and the role of human creativity and originality in the genre? Your homie, an AI bot, Harvey. So was this all generated by the AI?
Only God knows. I don't care.
I think it was.
I don't like it. I don't love it. I see some people they'll be like, hey, we tried to get AI chatbot to do you, and they refused because it's too dark. I think that's funny. I don't really care. I could see it getting annoying. Whereas I remember Jack Handy 10 years ago had to have his lawyer go online and make people take down his stuff because he was seeing, it's not his, if you share his joke, great, but he would go to a website that was best Jack Handy quotes, and half of them weren't even him. It was worse versions that he got annoyed, and so had them all taken down. I could see myself doing that one day. I always think if AI does it, and you're oh, that ruined a joke of mine, good, that joke should be ruined. Your stuff, as a comedian, my stuff should be better than what AI would come up with. And if it's not, okay, but it doesn't scare me. I don't like it though.
Well, it's also bad. I don't get the whole thing where people are wow, this is incredible. No, it's bad. Someday it'll be good, but it's a bad product now. The voice stuff is wild. The voice stuff is different because I don't think they're really creating jokes, and I think it's almost impossible for comedy right now. I don't think the jokes that they are generating are not jokes, but being able to hear the voices is kind of incredible. I don't know if you've seen the stuff with Biden talking about how much weed he loves and stuff that stuff is kind of wild and scary and weird and fun.
Deep fakes are weird. We can just make the face look like it's talking like that. It's all a little unnerving, but it doesn't bother me as an artist. Again, I think it's the creativity is in the soul, if you will, for lack of a better term, that I don't worry about a computer overtaking it. But if I saw too much stuff that was oh, this is AI, I think Roxane Gay, columnist for the New York Times, is also a professor, and she was a student turned in something that was AI chat, a paper written by AI chat, and it's obvious. You don't have to worry about people using this for cheating a lot because it's so bad. It like misses the soul of it, if you will. That I don't worry. And if a comic's like, oh, my stuff was ruined by GPT, whatever, an anagram, then you're bad. You're a bad comedian.
All right, and next one's from Dustin. He says he was recently going through a container of old ticket stubs. I was surprised to see how many times I've seen Anthony live. It reminded me of one show in particular. He saw you at the Carnegie Library of Homestead. I was in the second row. It was a fantastic show. Near the end, Anthony noticed the guy directly in front of me was recording the audio on his phone. The guy denied it, to which you replied, I know what the recorder looks like. I have the same fucking phone. Not much more came of it. I think Anthony let him slide, maybe because it was a hometown show. All this leads me to the question, has Anthony had many situations like this? I imagine as an artist building an hour or so of material, the fact someone could risk that would really fire you up. Do you remember this instance? Would this be your typical response to a fan breaking this common sense rule of comedy?
I remember this exactly, Dustin. Not only I remember better than you, because it was at the beginning of the show. I remember because it was in Pittsburgh. Beginning of the show, I looked down and as a kid, maybe 14 tops, had his phone out, audio recording, and it was like the phone was on. I could see the recording. I was like, "Are you recording?" He's like, "No," and I'm like, I remember the exact line. I have the same phone as you, dickhead. And the theater got tense. People were like, oh, what's going on? There's a security guard in the front, sort of walking towards him a little bit. And I was like, I'll allow it. It's going to be a great show. And everyone was like, oh, even my parents afterwards, like, that was a great moment when you let the kid record the show. And I'm like, he's not getting anything. That audio recording, like from the front row, was still like 20 feet away down. He's not getting anything usable. I don't mind an audio recording. You're a big fan. You want to listen to it later. Go ahead. It's going to sound like shit. A video recording will annoy me. Because I once had a show, I did 20 minutes at some theater in LA, and it was like a half-filled crowd, and some guy just videoed the whole thing, put it up, and it was really not ready. I was about to start touring, and it was not ready. And then they kept putting it up under different, like, I would have it taken down, they put it up in a different way, like call it something else. Say watch Caligula, and you hit play, and it starts that old video again. And people in the comments would be like, why does he keep having it taken down? We're fans. And it's like, you're bad fans. Don't put my stuff out there for everyone to see until, if after the special comes out, you want to put up like, this is what it was like a year ago, I don't care as much. I'd still probably have it taken down, but I've seen a lot of shows ruined by a comic flipping out on someone recording the set. And it's like, don't do that. Like, tell them to stop, be like, hey, don't video this. Or I've seen people video and be like, at your old Droog show, I was like, hey, don't record this. And if you're going to record and I find it online, like, I make a joke out of it so that people like don't get too uncomfortable. Because I've just seen people like idols of mine lose it on someone and really just destroy a show that I'm like, I'm never going to do that. That's a bad look. And again, if it's a kid, fine. If it's an audio recording, fine. And it's very rare instances that it actually ends up online. Usually it's just for yourself. It's like someone recording at a fucking concert. It's like, hey, put your phone down, but I don't know what you're going to do with this. You know what I'm saying?
They're going to put it on Instagram story. That's what they're going to do.
Instagram story, so that's 30 seconds.
Like me and Paolo Badosa's match point. I mean, that was electric for my followers, I'm sure, reliving that moment.
Thank God they didn't see you because they would have lost it. I see people like who will put up on their stories after a show of mine, they'll put up something, and I'm like, I hope they don't burn a joke. I hope they don't burn a joke here, and they never do. They're always like pretty savvy about just having me say something, but it doesn't give anything away, and I'm fine with that.
Plus, not that many people are reading their stories, so you don't need to be policing it. But I guess you just find out because you see.
I'll see people say, "Oh, Anthony Jeselnik saw my story." When I see stories, I click on the icon thing, and it has stories, and then I just hit like boom, boom, because it's never anything interesting. I just fly through all of them to see if anything would like strike my fancy. It never does. So do I watch your story? Not really. I click on it.
You watch mine sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go to like, I follow 8 people. I'll go watch your story occasionally. It's always some women's tennis shit.
It's not true. Jacob says he's a sophomore at Purdue. Go Boilermakers. I added that. NCAA tournament. Topical. I've been doing comedy for about a year and a half now. He has a great student-run comedy club that he's a part of. And they put on shows once a week. Progress has been slow. I'm studying engineering, and school feels like I'm banging my head against the wall. What I'm asking is, should I stick it out, get my degree while only getting on stage once a week, or should I drop out and move to New York to do comedy? Is living in New York even viable for someone without a degree? Also, when's the next special, Anthony?
Let me start off. If you try to live in New York City and you don't have a college degree in engineering, you're fucked. There's no way. Do you think anyone's going to let you sign a lease unless they see your diploma? You're out of your goddamn mind.
Well,
Everyone in New York City,
Well-
it's all engineers.
Well, also it depends how you enter, but there's that tunnel, Holland Tunnel, right where they just check for the engineering degree. So you can't. You have to go the other way.
Yeah, flying to LaGuardia, not JFK, because they're waiting for you. They want to see that degree if you want to live in New York. That's a ridiculous question. Should you drop out of college or get an engineering degree? Do you want to be an engineer? Because if you want to be an engineer, you should stay in school. If being an engineer is like being in school for engineering doesn't sound fun no matter who you are. Even if you like engineering is your passion, it doesn't sound fun. But
I don't know. We knew engineering students; they liked it. So, I mean, it was hard, but they liked it.
I knew a lot of engineering students who didn't graduate as engineering
That too,
students.
yeah,
that like I get wanting to do something else, but if it's like it shouldn't have to be a coin flip situation. If you really don't want to be an engineer, then yeah, don't waste your time. But if you're just like I don't like school that much, but I'd like to be an engineer, become an engineer. Stand-up comedy, it's probably good that while you're in college, you only get to get up once a week. It should be slow progress. It's not like you're gonna get to New York City and it's gonna all come together for you, and you're gonna have an hour in a year.
Well, it depends. If you have the engineering degree, maybe
you do get
you
to the front
combine
of the
that
line.
with the stand-up.
Yeah, you do get to the front of the line. I mean, if stand-up's your passion and you don't want to be an engineer, if the idea of becoming an engineer makes you sick, like at one point I considered going to law school. And I was like, well, I don't want to be a lawyer. Why would I do this? And then became a stand-up comedian. But it's not apples and oranges here. I would say finish your degree. Maybe you don't want to be an engineer. Maybe you change your major, become something else. But if stand-up is truly your passion, it'll still be your passion in 3 years or however long you have. And you can live wherever you want. But I would just keep doing stand-up, make it your hobby. And again, this is a different story if you don't want to be an engineer. But it shouldn't be either engineer or stand-up comic. I would keep going. Stand-up comedy will still be there in a couple years. But yeah, you'll be fine.
I feel like degrees are overrated. I mean, not if you want to become an engineer, then you need a degree. It's required. But just in general, if you want to do a lot of other things, they can be overrated. Like sports journalism, for instance, they're definitely overrated, especially graduate degrees. But if you want to be a comedian, you'll be a comedian. Like, you won't have a choice. I think that's one thing you say that I think is very true, that like comedians and I think artists or different jobs like that, like you're going to be if that's what you're going to do, like you won't have a choice. You won't let yourself do anything else. But you're also a sophomore in college. There's no huge rush.
Mm-hmm. And let's say you drop out. Let's say you do just, I don't want to be an engineer anymore. You tell your family, everyone's upset. They can't believe you threw this opportunity away. You go to New York City. Then there's like almost too much pressure on you to succeed. You're trying to find some other job in New York, which would be easy to do. You can work at a restaurant or something. Find some job that will let you do stand-up at night sometimes. And then you're just like freaking out because you threw away this opportunity to do stand-up. If you graduate and you go to New York or LA, Austin, Chicago, and look for engineering jobs, and then do stand-up on the side, I think it's probably a little easier. And again, there's no rush. I would even say it's better to wait until you're in your like mid-20s to start stand-up. You're a little more experienced, a little more chill about it. You'll probably be a little funnier. But keep doing your stand-up group in college and enjoy that.
That's good advice.
And that was Email Corner.
And that was Email Corner. Diamonds around the world unite. Diamonds around the world unite.
And now it's time for
Copy.
So, guys, we like sex,
We love it.
but we want a better sex life.
Sometimes I can't perform. can't do it.
50% of men have symptoms that get in the way of wanting or enjoying sex. If you want a better sex life, you're not alone. Roman is here to help. The digital health clinic for men, addressing a variety of sexual health needs, offering genuine medication that helps achieve and maintain a strong erection. And that is really starting with the wipes.
If you've ever sat in the parking lot of your doctor's office just punching the steering wheel for half an hour and not refusing to go in because you're embarrassed, then Roman is the thing for you.
The wipes help you last 4 times longer in bed. In men with low testosterone, getting those levels back to normal can help increase your libido. Roman offers a testosterone test, which includes lab processing, and they find out if it's appropriate for you as treatment for low testosterone.
If you got low T, you got 2 options. You either get the Roman wipes or you listen to Rogan.
If medication or testing is appropriate, Roman will send it. They'll keep it in discreet packaging. Nothing to be ashamed of. I don't want that discreet packaging.
Yeah, I checked the box that says no discreet packaging. Tell everybody.
No waiting rooms, no hassle. It's a straightforward digital experience from the comfort of your home. To learn more about how you can achieve your personal sexual health goals, go to ro.co/JRVP today to get 20% off your first order. That's ro.co/JRVP.
Roman is just the kick in the dick you need.
Black Buffalo is it's everything you love, nothing you don't if you're 21 or over and use nicotine pouches or long cut.
It's got everything.
Tobacco alternative. It's Black Buffalo. So it's got the feel, the taste, the ritual without the actual tobacco leaf or stem. It's made from a variety of cabbage leaves. Different leaf, same old ritual.
Black Buffalo. It's just the kick in the dick you need.
So you can buy Black Buffalo online. You can go to blackbuffalo.com, or it's at thousands of retail locations around the country. You can go to blackbuffalo.com. Check out the store locator. If you're on the West Coast, like Anthony and I, you can also check them out at your local AM/PM store. Or again, check out the store locator. If you're not on the West Coast, you can find them at Pilot Flying J, Racetrack, all sorts of stuff. Black Buffalo has been a longtime sponsor. We've heard a lot of good feedback from people that have tried it out. Really enjoy it. Good looking packaging. You always want to look cool with your product. If you're 21 or over and you use products like this, it's time to join the Black Buffalo herd. Head to blackbuffalo.com. Use the promo code JRVP at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use the code JRVP for 20% off your first order. One last time, promo code JRVP for 20% off your first order. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
And that was.
Ad copy.
Let's get to headlines.
Let's get to headlines. Headlines, Jam. Yeah. Let's get to headlines. Headlines, Jam. Yeah.
God damn. I mean, sometimes it's like, well, everyone thinks their own voice is annoying when they hear it, but my voice really is annoying.
You made that sound. I thought it was like someone killing a bird, but that was you? I don't know. I mean, Avicii edited that up together. I don't know.
I think it was from something where it was like, ah! You know, like being afraid right there.
That was the sound.
That was it. So everyone celebrates Christmas, has that spot where they keep their decorations or even their fake tree the rest of the year. For some reason, I'm always surprised when I go to look for my fake tree and decorations that it's right there. It's right where I left them. I'm like, here's the one thing in my life I don't fuck up. I haven't lost these
do you put it in a box or do you just like stuff it in there?
We have a couple bags, and then we got the fake tree in a box, and you put it back in the same place in the garage. Now we got a new garage, new place. But we've managed to keep it all. You know, all the, what do you call it you hang from the tree? I don't
Tinsel?
know. No.
Ornaments?
Ornaments, yeah. You know, those ornaments added up
forgot
over
the word ornaments.
A lot of beauty. It's been a long day, long week.
Aaron, fake tree, real tree?
I have a fake tree.
I go real. I would love a fake tree. I can't. I'm not allowed.
Well, especially when you have kids. There was one Christmas where Walker just started like eating the tree. Can't have that. I guess he's probably out of that.
I feel like a real tree would be safer than the fake tree. If he's eating the fake tree.
Right, but it's like falling on the ground and he was just eating it. But that was when he was a little baby. He is 8 years old now.
Yeah. Things are going to be different.
I'm always a little surprised, but like I said, that it's always there. But I'm not as surprised when I find it as the woman last week who found her dead husband's body when she went looking for decorations. This was during the Christmas season, 8 months after he first went missing.
It's always the last place you look. I feel like the true tragedy of this story is, and I did not read the story. You're going to have to give me some details. The true tragedy is that they didn't have kids. Because if the kid found her, that's practically a Gremlins. Do you remember the movie Gremlins?
Yeah.
Aaron, do you remember the movie Gremlins?
I saw Gremlins 2 again recently.
Gremlins 2 is great. Maybe even superior to the original in terms of comedy. But there's a scene in Gremlins where Phoebe Cates' character describes her dad, when she was a kid, her dad dressing up as Santa and disappearing. Well, no, her dad disappears on Christmas Eve, and they can't find him. And like weeks later, and they found out that he had tried to crawl down the chimney in a Santa costume to give them all presents and broke his neck and died in there. And they like smelled it like weeks later and pulled him out of there. And it's a tragic but also a very funny story. This is practically that. And he's not dressed up as Santa. He's not trying to bring anybody presents. How did this guy die?
Well, this is where it becomes less funny. You didn't read the story, did
Nope.
you? Yeah, I didn't think so. Because it was by suicide.
In the closet?
Okay, so he went missing. I mean, the whole story gets sad. I mean, there's a dead body.
When does it get
started sad? He went missing one day about 8 months ago. He called his wife. He said he's coming home from work. He wasn't there when she got home, but his car was outside. And she thought, oh, that's weird. Couldn't find him. Didn't show up for a day. Ended up reporting him missing. During initial search of the home, the police actually were unable to locate the man. Then she started smelling something funny in her house. The police came again. Didn't find anything. He was back there the whole time. He had committed suicide in the storage area behind a clothes cupboard under a staircase in the home.
How did he do it? Does it say?
It didn't say.
Wait, I'm looking at the article now. Did you? His suicide note's crazy. Did you read that? His suicide note?
No.
It just said surprise.
Stop. I believed you for a second. I don't know why. I was like, there it is.
I'm not connected to the internet. Gotcha.
So the whole story seemed very strange. It's like, how could she possibly live?
How big's the house?
How badly did the police look for him that twice they were out there? It literally smelled and they couldn't find him. None of it made sense. And then I realized, and there's a little line at the end where they describe the home as a, quote, hoarder home. That the entire house, that they were like a weird hoarder couple. The entire house was a hoarder home. Boxes and boxes everywhere. Fucked up shit. Probably a fucked up relationship. Definitely a fucked up life. And they said it smelled like the sewer, basically inside the entire house. But they thought that it was just all the hoarding. And it was the hoarding,
All
too.
right. You are a woman. You are reporting your husband missing. I'm coming to your house. I'm knocking on the front door. It's a hoarder's home. Ready?
Okay.
Police.
Oh, yes. Thank you for coming over. Thank you.
You said your husband's been missing?
Yes, please can you come in and take a look and try to find him for me?
We don't need to do that. He killed himself. Check one of the closets.
What?
He's for sure dead.
How would you know that?
Because if I was your husband, I would have killed myself this morning. Peace. See you later. Cops.
That's why they need you. That's why they need you on the case.
9 times out of 10, hoarder's home, someone's missing. They either got crushed by like a falling thing of newspapers, or they pieced out on their own. And what do you think? Do you think she? Here's my impression.
It was December 11th, by the way, that she went a little late to get out the decoration. I guess not that crazy late. We do it around then too.
And who's she decorating for? If it's just her, is she decorating for the?
I mean,
the
people
cat
who
corpse?
live by themselves decorate their house for Christmas. They're allowed to have joy in their sewer-like home.
Here's my
Why would
impression.
she put them away?
Hmm?
Why would she put them away? It's
true.
just a hoarder house.
Fair
Just
point.
throw them up in the air. Here's my impression of the woman finding the husband. Ready? Of course.
That's why you gotta watch the YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Gotta watch the YouTube.
A Wisconsin woman who is accused of stabbing her ex-boyfriend in his sleep 19 times with scissors and claiming it was a dream has now pled insanity as a legal defense.
I read this story.
Yeah,
I did read this story because I was like,
there's a lot. It's long.
Because I was like, is he dead? No, he is not. She stabbed him with scissors. Apparently, I was like, what? They were together. He was sleeping on the couch because she was so crazy.
They were kind of broken up, but living together at the time.
They had a kid.
Seemed like, yeah,
Well,
they had a kid. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, so the kid slept in the room with her. He slept on the couch. He's still providing. He's being a good boyfriend. And then she comes in the middle of the night and is like stabbing him with scissors a bunch of times in the arm and the back. I think she may have gotten his face. And I remember just the cops. I read this a while ago, but the cops come in and he's like, "What? Why?"
Wait, could we actually
In my
play
sleep?
this out? I want you to play the part.
Of the baby?
No, of the woman. She's. I mean, I don't know if. I guess I would have to show it to you here, but we could read it together. I feel like, and then you can play the. I'll play the woman and you play the guy. What the? And he's getting stabbed at this point.
Wait, no, am I the guy?
When the police walked in, this isn't working as seamlessly as I thought.
Am I the guy or am I the girl?
You're the guy.
Okay. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why? Why am I asleep, bro? If you,
I thought I saw something.
No. If when you get stabbed by your girlfriend, you call her bro. Why am I asleep, bro? You saw this coming. This isn't that big. And in your mind, this is a party foul of getting stabbed because she is so crazy that this isn't that nuts. You're not like, what is going on? Were you possessed by the devil? You're like, why am I asleep, bro? Stab me when I'm awake. Stab me with the scissors when I'm awake. Why am I asleep?
Why am I asleep, bro?
Why am I asleep, bro?
I mean, imagine he got stabbed 19 different times. His head all over. He's literally in the process of getting stabbed, and he said, "Why in my sleep, bro?" I don't know why that struck me as funny. It is transgressive to call your significant other bro. I actually have started doing this here and there at home. I'm not making this up. I call Ellis or Emeka bro, and it really annoys them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's something gives me a little thrill.
If you really want to send them off the deep end, change it to bruh. B-R-U-H. They will fucking divorce you.
Yeah. I mean, this story seemed to be one of a woman who is having psychotic episodes. And that more or less explained it. That she had been seeing, she said, a dark, scary figure a lot. Like seeing visions. And she says that she saw a dark, scary figure on top of him, attacking him, and in her mind picked up a pair of scissors laying there and then began to try to kill the dark, ominous figure attacking the boyfriend. Now, I don't know. That could just be a story that she made up. It's kind of foolproof. You can't really claim that she wasn't doing that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she had scissors and not like a full-blown knife in that situation leads me to believe that maybe she wasn't trying to kill the boyfriend, because that's going to end badly. Like, you better stab him a hell of a lot more than 19 times if you want to kill a guy with a pair of scissors. You know? It wasn't the perfect crime, is what I'm saying.
I feel like that's enough if you stab hard enough.
Yeah, she wasn't going deep. These weren't great scissors. You think she was doing arts and crafts in her crazy room with her baby? Or her boyfriend sat in the couch?
What, they were little kid scissors? They were like fingernail clippers?
They were, I mean, whatever they weren't great. They weren't my scissors. If I stab you with my scissors 19 times, you're going to sleep forever, bro.
The police report's crazy. When the officer Bennett reached the top of the stairs, he saw a younger blonde female who appeared to be wearing only an oversized blue UCLA sweatshirt. Hot.
That's a red flag.
And had the appearance of blood coating both her legs, her feet, both forearms, and the back and front of her hands. That's like a Maxim magazine shoot.
That's 19 scissor stabs. I blame the guy. I blame the guy for being there. If you get stabbed 19 times by your girlfriend, by the mother of your child, while you're sleeping on the couch, it's your fault. You should have gone. You should have left already.
She immediately said to the police that she didn't want to lose custody. Yeah, he had been sleeping on the couch for a while. He wanted to stay in the kid's life, but he also said that she would regularly beat him, like spousal abuse. So there was a lot going on here.
Yeah, I believe it. Who's got custody now of the kid? There's no way she has it. It's got to be either him or like a family member.
I think a scissors is a gots-to-go situation in terms of custody. I think you use the scissors, you're out. You lose it. It's ironic that she wanted the custody and she used the scissors.
I'm trying to think of like a scissor song, but I can't. I'm not that cool. Aaron, play me a scissor song. That's my favorite. It's Kill Bill.
Wait, that really is a scissor song.
I know. That's the end of the title.
You're the man.
I am the man.
A man living in New Zealand's tallest apartment building wanted to get back at his upstairs neighbors. And he came up with a perfect plan to make 25 of them go insane. He installed a hidden humming vibrator into a window cavity that no one could see, that would vibrate all day, every day, releasing a hum that sounded like a cell phone vibrating, except it never stopped and it drove everyone crazy.
See, when I first saw the headline, I thought it was someone was using a vibrator, like a sexual toy, and they were using it so much that everyone's like, stop using your vibrator. Like, do something else. There's other things you can do to do this. And I was like, that's a great story. And then I read it and it got even better. So it's like I saw the thing. He had like put books on, like along the window. It's like a tall
It's called
window.
a ceiling vibrator.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like along the window of the building. It's one of those really nice new condominiums. It's like the biggest nicest condo building in New Zealand.
Yeah, the tallest building in a luxury apartment building.
And I think it was like the device was like on a pole. That was like he had wedged books in there, so it would touch the ceiling part of it, and I guess it vibrated along the windowsill or window pane, and made a big part of the building vibrate. So everyone just heard that sound, that like ringing sound of the vibration. What I love about this is that it went on for a long, long time, and they searched the building. They searched the building because they thought people were like, it's an engineering thing. They're like, no. They searched the building, and the guy took it down when they came to his apartment. They came into his condo, and he took it away. So like, oh, okay, there's nothing in here, and then put it back up, which is amazing. You would think he'd be like, okay, like they're on to me. Let me put this away. I'll never get caught. It's fine. I got my revenge. No, he puts it right back up. He puts it right back up and waits until they catch him. I want to know how they finally got him, how they finally zeroed in on him. Because he was doing it 24 hours a day. He probably left, and they went in when he was gone and found the thing. But I don't know what the upstairs neighbors did.
Right, that's what I want to know. And there is no proof of what he was mad at. There was some report of him showing up to like a meeting of all the tenants and complaining about something, but it seemed pretty benign. I don't know if that was it.
Wait, the vibrator guy was complaining.
Yeah, but he was complaining about like some other problems in the building that weren't that major. This feels more personal, that he wanted to get at these exact people that it was, or he just like just wanted to have a little fun.
If you're the upstairs neighbor, then I would think you were shaken by this. No pun intended, by the vibrator of it all, because you're like, this guy hated me so much that he like put this thing into the walls to drive me crazy, and it would drive you crazy. If you were not the upstairs neighbor, and it just drove you insane because you were close enough, are you mad, or are you like, wow, like that's fucking crazy? You know what I mean?
I think
like,
it'd be worth it for the story as long as it wasn't bothering you.
I think once that sound is over, you're so relieved that it, like you forget about all of it. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who this guy is, Greg. I'll tell you who this guy is.
Is he going to do it?
I'll tell you who this guy is, Aaron.
Is he going to do it?
This guy, this vibrator building guy, is our JRVP listener of the week.
I'll tell you right now, the JRVP listener, the JRVP listener of the week.
That's a new jingle. That's a new jingle we got to bring back to celebrate people when they fuck over 25 people in their condo building. What did he think was going to happen when they found out that they would just be like, all right, cool, don't do that again? He's got to be evicted for sure. I love it.
They were said to be invented in China and are sometimes referred to as, quote, noisemaker revenge machines. So it's known apparently on the internet, essentially. Like if you Google like how to drive everyone crazy with a noise machine, that people use this for this exact purpose.
No, I'll tell you what I use my noisemaker revenge machine for. A chair.
Last headline.
A fucking stool.
Finally in the news, a wedding in Florida went horribly wrong when the venue owner, upset about the newlyweds' use of music at his venue, for some reason, pointed a gun at the couple and their guests and told everyone to get the fuck out.
I love it. I guess he was worried about a noise complaint and like after curfew or whatever. So like I guess curfew's 11 p.m. But at 10:45 he comes in, telling everyone they got to stop. And I guess they had the venue till 11:30 or midnight.
That was the detail at the end of the story that I was like, you should have led with that. This all happened at 10:50 p.m. and they had the venue until 11:30. They could not get over it.
I assumed when I heard like first saw the headline, I assumed people were like they were just like breaking stuff in the venue. They were like things got way too crazy. I saw the video. They're having a nice time. It's not even that packed a wedding. They just want to do I think the final dance before 11 o'clock, like building to that like whatever the last dance is at a wedding. And then the guy comes in hot with the gun. The employee coming in punching people is just as good because maybe the guy's insane. Maybe the owner's insane. and he loses his mind. But to have an employee come in and start punching guests at the wedding is unbelievable.
So yeah, that's the second part of the story. Not only did the owner point the gun at the couple, and really everyone, and it wasn't like, hey, like I'm going to lift up my jacket, I've got a gun. It was like, no, I'm going to do the thing where I point it sideways and then point it all over you and point it right at their head and stuff. And it was like looking all gangster. And then, yes, he had a worker from the venue come in. I think the worker just like spilled a drink on the DJ's equipment, and then he punched a woman in the face. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't even really sure why, because I guess she was, I don't know.
She was like, why are you making this? Why do you have the gun? And they just like, boom. I love it. I mean, I would think that working at a wedding venue would be the worst job in the world. And these people just snapped. I mean, was this the first wedding they ever had? What happens at 11 o'clock if you're still playing music? How long was the song that he was worried it would go over 10 minutes?
And they said it was going to be the last song. It's very confusing because, like we said, they had it rented out on until 11:30. My favorite part of the article was talking about the Cielo Farms nursery, which is the venue that it was. It was like at a nursery, like a flower nursery or whatever. The owners of Cielo Farms nursery told the outlet they would consult their attorney before commenting. No future weddings are planned at the location.
So the guy who had the gun and the guy who punched, were they employed by the nursery or were they brought in?
I don't know if they were like a third party or something, but they were a wedding venue, and the DJ went on Instagram, talked about it quite a bit. He was a cousin, I believe, of the bride, and he said, before I knew, I was staring down the barrel of his gun, and at that moment when I saw his eyes, I was prepared to be killed and coming to terms that my children were about to lose their dad for no reason. Yeah,
they had no sense of humor about it because like it was so crazy and so out there that of course you think you're going to die. If someone walked in here right now with a gun and pointing at us, I would think we're going to die right now. It's too crazy. If we're outside in the parking lot and somebody walks by and they flash a gun, I'm like, okay, you got a gun. Let's try to get out of here. But that is a we're about to die situation. I want to hear that guy's side of it. I want to hear what was going to happen at 11 o'clock, that he had to pull a gun on people. That he had, like, how many times did he tell them? Why did they let them rent the venue till 11:30? It seems like play your music till 11, and then people can file out for half an hour.
How loud was the fucking music?
What was the song? Unless they had a song on repeat. You know what I mean? Unless they had like that like circus theme on repeat for a while and the guy just lost his mind. And how did he get the employee? The employee coming in and like co-signing on all of this is just as crazy. Like there's nothing about this story that I don't love.
I suspect drugs. I feel like they just did a ton of coke or something crazier. I don't know. Fentanyl. Gotta be worried about the fentanyl these days. I don't know. That they just got crazy high and aggressive because and then they were just like, oh wait, Barry told us to turn the music down. Let's go to town.
That's not how drugs work at all. They might be like, play a different song or I'll shoot you, but they're not going to like turn the music off. You only have 10 minutes till the curfew. And who are their neighbors? Maybe their neighbors who like have guns of their own and they're like, if it's as soon as 10:59, I'm firing off a shot. I don't give a fuck. What was the wedding before them that set these people off so hard that they had to pull guns? I want to know everything about this story. And now it's time for Choo-choo Recommendation Station.
Why don't you go first today?
Don't we have a song for Recommendation
Your little
Station?
boot. No, we never
choo-choo.
have.
Just the choo-choo? Get on it, Avicii.
I mean, we got the choo-choo. You can't top the choo-choo.
Yeah, it's true. You can't do it, but I would try. It's not 11:30 here. My recommendation this week is a book. It's a newer book. It's called The Shamshine Blind, a weird title, a even weirder book. It is a science fiction tinged pulp noir, if you will. Cops got to solve a case, but it's in a future, or actually it's in the kind of the past, only it's an alternate reality where emotions have been weaponized. There was a war going on. Argentina found a way to put emotions into like weapons and dropped bombs on people. They didn't kill them, but fucked with their emotions. The people would just be despondent, wouldn't be able to fight back, and they were able to take over the entire world. So it's in like a post-war America where there's like entire like sections of the country that you can't go to because your emotions will get too crazy, and they're trying to solve a crime, solve a murder, if you will. And I loved it. I thought it was great. I love in noir like this where the heroes just getting their ass handed to them everywhere they go, just getting beat to shit throughout the whole story. And this certainly happens here. Great book, really well written. That's The Shamshine Blind by Paz Pardo, Pardo. Really interesting book. Really enjoyed it.
I was struggling, and then I realized, oh wait, I can do a double recommendation. Back up one of your recommendations, which was fantastic, that I recently finished, which was Meet Me in the Bathroom. I finally finished that. I sort of took a break. It's a monster book.
The book or the documentary?
The book. I read the book. I listened to the audiobook at times, but I read more of it. But I also listened to it, and it's really great about an oral history of that scene in New York, if you remember when Anthony recommended that, or the doc with the Strokes and LCD Sound System and Yeah Yeah Yeahs, who I loved. And like I skipped a little bit of the Interpol. I never really got into Interpol, and so I was less interested. But just like hearing about that scene, and especially the Strokes, was a lot of fun. And Karen O, and just like all their thought process of what they were trying to do and what happened, and the White Stripes, and it was great. I love a good music bio, or like an oral history type of thing, and this was great. Meet Me in the Bathroom.
You know what I loved about that was all the Ryan Adams slander.
Yeah.
Like they destroyed Ryan Adams. But
Yeah.
Ryan Adams is deeply uncool right now. He's been deeply uncool. But that book was the first thing to be like, hey, this guy fucking sucks. This guy, like I remember one guy from the Strokes was like, you couldn't hang with that guy. You'd be like hanging out with your guitars, pick up a guitar and be like, I've been working on the song, and you'd play like 2 chords, and you'd be like, I know what you mean, and take it back and start playing something himself. I was like, oh, this guy's insufferable, and I love that.
I loved it too because I moved to the East Village in 2004 in February, so I just missed it. It was just after this, but it was still the same like area, Alphabet City, and everything in the East Village where they were at. Kind of like what I moved there sort of right after. They hit it, and it was sort of the aftermath where there was a million bands kind of in their wake that were all trying to be like the Strokes.
Thank God you had that college degree. Now, Walker, get us out of here.
Am I playing Walker or the other song?
Oh, play the Walker or the Debbie, and then we can play the song.
Okay.
We got
Whoa, Nelly Focaccia, that's a spicy meatball.
Would you rather skip everywhere instead of walking, running, or sing instead of speaking? That's easy. I would skip. I would also skip. It would be so fun to have to sing instead of talking. I couldn't wait to get pulled over by the cops. And this podcast would lose all its listeners and sponsors too. It's time for ad copy. Would you be able to tell people it was a bit? It's not a bit, you have to do it. I would wear a t-shirt that explained everything, and then I'd kiss those people because they wouldn't love me. Aaron, we on key? Sort of. Ooh. Go back to singing. Do not use this as the clip. You can use it. 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 Real stuff. You can use it. 2 seconds. You can use it. You can use it. It's 2 seconds. You can use it. You can use it. She puts high school pal. You can use it. She groomed you. High school pal. She groomed you. How old were you before you started dating women with a star named after your mom? You can use it. You can use it. Too sexual. That was amazing. We sang it so we can keep our teeth and walk normal when we go places. We make the hard choices that Greg's high school girlfriend couldn't make.